Welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls Remastered on the PS4. Dark Souls is a very famous game. Like, who doesn't know Dark Souls, right? Everybody knows Dark Souls, right? If you played some games, you probably know about Dark Souls. So, how I'm going to introduce to you this game? It's just so famous. How am I going to do this? It's hard. I'll try to do it anyway. Dark Souls is an action RPG. And you probably know it because everyone says it's hard, right? It is marketed as a hard game. That's what it is, right? Everybody says that. But here's the question. Is it really that hard? And the answer is it depends. Because on your first playthrough, it is going to be a hard game. But later, once you acquire knowledge about the game, not that hard of a game really. Actually kind of easy. If you know what you're doing and where you're going, it's pretty easy actually. But there's another problem with Dark Souls Let's Plays. Anyone anyone to a new player, anyone will say, do not watch Let's Plays, do not watch guides. Just play the game, experience it for yourself. But I also like people who say, well, yeah, you should experience it blind. But if you really are stuck and you think you're doing something wrong, maybe watch somebody else play it, see what they are doing, and see if their tips can help you. Because many times in other games myself, I got stuck because I could not understand how the game worked. Then I looked up a guide and I was like, oh, I was doing this wrong. I was doing this thing wrong the whole time. So I thought, okay, let's pick that game up again. And I continued and I made it through. So yeah, I don't think it's wrong to look up guides for any game, or even this game. It's not wrong, but you need to do it the right way. Me, for example, when I played this game, I used to play a section of it and then watch a Let's Play of the same section, and then I will see, okay, so I'm doing things right, or I was like, oh wait, I didn't do that right. This guy actually is doing it better than me, so yeah, I'll use that knowledge for a future challenge, you know? So I was still experiencing the game, but I was also learning from somebody else that was better than me. And there's another problem with Let's Playing Dark Souls. If I want to make it as a guide to new players, how am I going to do that? Because there are so many ways to play this game. Not anyone will play the same way. So what am I going to do here? Well, here's the thing. We need something that can help new players understand what it is to play the game the first time, but we need also something to show how powerful you can be if you acquire knowledge about the game. So that's why I decided that I'm going to play the game with two characters. We're going to run through the game twice. We're going to have one character doing one specific run and another character doing another specific run. Let's discuss these two characters really quick before we get into the main menu. The first character will be a warrior, and it will have some restrictions. The warrior will have a long sword, a heater shield, and his basic armor. And that's all the warrior will be able to use. I will add in a short bow and a pyromancy flame, and that's to use a spell called Power Within. Those who play the game already know what Power Within is. But simply put, this warrior will be the most basic melee build possible, so that you, new player, that are probably using a melee build, because that's one of the most common builds to start with, will be able to follow this warrior's journey. And you will probably be able to do a lot better than this warrior, because this warrior will be very basic, will have very basic tools to work with. So you can do probably better than that. The other character instead will be a female cleric. This female cleric will have no restrictions. She will be able to use whatever the game allows to use within the boundaries of fair play. So no glitches, no item duplication, no out of bounds, nothing like that. Just intended play. And that will show you how you can actually, break the game within intended play. And how you can become very powerful early on and make some if not most of the challenges of this game pretty easy. So, let us actually get into the main menu. Hopefully, I will be able to record this game. Oh god, I hit continue. Wait a minute. I'll be back. So that's it. New game. And let's make our warrior. So we'll call this guy with my username, of course. Why wouldn't we do that? There we go. We're gonna go for male class. Now, something about classes. There are several classes in Dark Souls, as you can see, warrior, knight, wanderer, thief, and so on. What classes do is they will change what stats you will start with. Those are shown on the bottom left. See how they change between classes. And they will also change what weapon you start with, what armor you start with, and what shield you start with. Some classes, like the Sorcerer, Pyromancer, Cleric, also gain a spell for free, and a way to cast those spells. And I believe the Hunter also gets arrows, bow and arrows, because it's a archer of sorts. But yeah, that's it. That's the main difference among all the classes. Oh, the Thief also starts with the Master Key, which is an item any class can start with, but you need to select it on the next option. So we'll start with Warrior. And now Gift is an item you can start with. There are several of them, and they all have different effects. And everyone says the Master Key is the best item, and it is, because it will allow you to go into more areas. It will open up your options, which is good, because if you're stuck in an area, then you may explore another one. Even if that area is considered to be harder, maybe you'll be able to find some good stuff for you to use in the previous area that you couldn't do. So, if you're a new player, I highly suggest you pick up Master Key, but know that any door you open with Master Key is probably going to lead to a more advanced area, and you probably should not be there yet. So this card, you will actually pick up the Old Witch Ring, which says, Gift for a Witch, ancient ring with no obvious effect, but we will show what this does. It won't do anything for us in terms of stats or whatever. There will be one point in the game we'll be using this. Physique, it doesn't really matter. From this point on, it's just character customization. So we'll go with average. Face, we'll go for commoner. We'll go for short hair. And yeah, we can go dark brown, why not? And we're done with this character. We'll be back here at the character creation screen later when we'll create the other character. For now, let's just begin the game.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart stone spirits. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
So here we are. We are in the northern undead asylum with all the... one of the asylums, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the only one where the undead are corralled to, as the game says, await the end of the world. Anyway, we'll pillage the corpse and get our dungeon cell key, which will allow us to escape. And here in the first area, we really are going to get basic tutorials now. Well, you can control the camera with the right stick, you can move with the left stick, you have R1 to attack. There are some enemies here that will not attack you back, so you have all the time to practice your moves, the range, the speed, and whatever you need. We have a strong attack with R2, which is... it takes longer, but it does more damage. We can dash by holding circle while we're moving, which will expand our stamina, which is below our health in the top left. Attacking will also consume stamina. Everything that you do that isn't walking around will consume stamina. If you run out, you need to wait until it recharges to do more actions. We have Alt3 for target lock and release. I believe this was rebinded. It is originally R3, but I rebinded to Alt3 because I just find myself a lot better with L3 to lock on. Oh well. We get these enemies, we climb up the ladder. And we reach another area. Rusted bonfire, recover HP. Bonfires are scattered throughout the world of Dark Souls. You can light them up when you reach them, and then you can rest on them. You will recover all of your health. And that also means that when you die, if you die, you will respawn at the last bonfire you rested at. So they also act as checkpoints. So be sure to be on the lookout for them. Anyway, open this big door. Big open space. If you ever played any other RPG, you already know what this means. Big boss on our way. And this guy is our first boss, but there's a message on the ground here that says get away. Yeah, we're not meant to fight this thing quite yet, because if we try to, we'll do minuscule damage. So instead, we'll just leg it, go through this door. We'll be back for that guy in a minute. And there's another bonfire. Now, bonfires are, right now, pretty close to one another, but don't get used to it. They will become pretty scarce later on. Here we have to get our shield. There's another corpse here that we can pillage. We can find our ether shield. We open the menu, well, as suggested by these tutorials over here on the ground. So we have 2 slots for weapons, 2 slots for shields, 5 slots for items that we can use quickly without opening the menu, 2 slots for arrows, 2 slots for bolts if we have a crossbow, 2 slots for rings that we can use to gain additional effects, I guess, and then there's armor, head, chest, hands, and legs. So right now we just switch to ether shield. Now we have it equipped, we can block with L1. Blocking will require stamina. This guy is running away, won't let me demonstrate it. But whatever. You have to use the shield to kind of block his arrows and move on. Here we find a longsword, which is a much better weapon than our straight sword hilt. We change that, and now we'll be able to do a lot more damage to this guy. As you can see, when I'm blocking an arrow, look at my stamina, it goes down a little bit. So even blocking uses stamina. Now that we do a lot more damage, we're able to take out these guys in 2 hits. That is much better. Okay, moving on through the fog gate. We have a backstep by tapping circle, and we can roll by tapping circle while moving, which is a great defensive maneuver. The backstep is very much useless, except it has one weird property, which I will show you later. Now we go up here, there's a boulder, and we get crushed. Because we did not expect that boulder, right? But the boulder smashes through this wall, where we find this guy.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
So yeah, our savior kicked the bucket, apparently, but he left us with a mission and a key to get out of here. Well, kind of. We have a square to use item. The item is the one highlighted down there. In this case, it's Estus Flask, which we can use to heal if we need to. Actually, we kind of do, because we lost some health due for the boulder. So how about we do that and heal up a bit. We can use our key to open this door also. If we go down here, there's actually a shortcut. We can open this door and we will find ourselves back at the first bonfire. When we rest at the bonfire, our Estus is replenished. We're back to 5 users. But there's also a caveat. If we rest at bonfires, all the enemies will come back. which I think the game will tell us in a second. Triangle, wield right weapon two-handed. So you can wield your weapon with two hands. So you won't be able to block. I mean, you can still block, kind of, as you can see, but you won't block as much damage as you would with a shield. But with two-handing, your attacks will do more damage. I think it's like a 40% increase. So here we have two advanced moves, a kick and a jump attack. A kick is done by flicking the stick forward and pressing R1. It's kind of a weird input. You kind of get used to it though after a while, although see, it kind of messes it up sometimes. It's more like a defensive maneuver than an offensive one. And then you have a jumping attack. You do it the same way you do with the kick, but you do R2 instead of R1. It's a very situational move though. You don't really need to know these two moves to complete the game. But I will. As that said, resting at a bonfire revives enemies. Not all of the enemies are revived, but most of them are. There are some enemies that will not be revived and can only be killed once. But we'll talk about those when they will appear. For now, we only have these. Well, bosses are one example. For example, the big boy that we saw at the beginning, that's a clear example. R1 behind an enemy critical hit. Now, this tutorial is kind of missing something. It should say behind an enemy with your shield lowered, because if you try to do that with your shield up, it's not going to work. Like this, it's not going to work. You need to release R1 and press R2. L2 parry, repel an enemy attack. After parrying, riposte with R1. So there are two types of critical hits in this game. One is striking from behind. I'll actually de-equip the sword. I'll kill this guy in one hit if I strike him from behind with the sword. So we'll go behind and do this. Remember, lower your shield before doing that attack. Or there is a parry. If I repel the enemy sword like this and press R1, I will do a riposte, which will do a lot of damage. Generally, riposte do more damage than back attacks. So if you can go for a riposte, go for it. It requires some practice with timing, but once you get the hang of it, you'll do it seamlessly. R1 while falling, plunging attack. And the game tells us that because we are right now just above the first boss. We'll do as the game says, R1, and do a heck lot of damage. And now we can fight this guy for real, because now we do actually a good amount of damage. Let's try two-handing. Yeah, it went from 41 to 67. The two-handing really helps here. We will dodge his attacks and attack back. Slowly and carefully wins the race. This game is not a marathon. I mean, this game is a marathon. It is not a race, it is a marathon. Slowly and carefully. We take our windows. We do not attack more than we need to. We mix it up with some heavy attacks. And we did it. We beat our first boss, the Asylum Demon. We get the big Pilgrim's Key and a humanity. The big Pilgrim's Key will allow us to exit. And the humanity, well, we'll talk about it later in another episode. Good job, go straight ahead. We'll do just that. But not before we pick up a little secret item. Over to this side, there is a Soul of a Lost Undead, which will grant souls. Souls are in the bottom right. They're obtained when you defeat enemies and from certain items like that one. They are buff your currency and your experience points. And that, I think, ends the area.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
And with that, we arrived at Firelink Shrine. We are now in Lordran, where most of the game takes place. And we will begin exploring this place next time on another episode. But, you know, that was only one side of the coin. Because we have not seen the other character yet, the Cleric. I told you, we have to play this game twice, with 2 characters. So this character will stop here for now. How about we go back to the title screen and actually see what the other character will do. Alright, we're back at the title screen, so let's begin another new game. This time, we'll go for the Cleric 96, because of course this one's a Cleric. Cleric. There you go, done. We'll go female this time. Cleric. Cleric on pilgrimage wields a mace and casts healing miracles. For gift, we're gonna go Master Key, because that will allow us to open the door that we couldn't we wouldn't be able to open otherwise. Sorry about the slip. We'll go Slim. She's a slim girl. She is. I will go for Story Royalty. And hair, I'm gonna go Ponytail A. And gold. Thank you so much. Like that, we will accept. We can use start to skip the cutscene because we don't really care about it. We already seen it. When I'll be playing this character, I'll just go very fast, like on my usual, like, quote-unquote speed of playing the game. You'll be seeing me like blazing through the game, no big deal. We already know many of the mechanics, so I'm just gonna two-hand this thing and kill this guy in 3 hits. Or I can go like a two-handed heavy attack and run out of stamina immediately, I guess. One thing that I failed to mention, to show with the other character, is this guy. There is a demon over there, but if you look at it carefully, it is not the same demon we killed with the warrior, because his weapon is a bit different. Keep that guy in mind. Just keep that guy in the back of your head. Just keep that in mind that he's there. Or it's there, rather. Get this guy too for the additional 20 souls. I could have done something better with those guys, but I'll leave it to it for now. It's fine. It really is fine. Don't even need to light this bonfire, it's fine. And if you pan the camera up here, you can kind of see on the top of the screen, well, if I step back, you can see the demon that will have to fight, or rather not, because we're just going to run away. There is actually a way to kill it without going through here. We'll see it in a second, though. There are some clips that I want to show you at the end of the episode. For now, whoops. East West shield, thank you. Who needs a shield when you can just roll through arrows? Oh well. We'll get our mace, we'll equip our mace. This is almost the same as the warrior, but with some variations. Like that I will kill this guy like this. And here I will show you the peculiar property that this move has. Not this, sorry. The backstab. Like this thing. For some reason, you can backstab through boulders. You still take damage, but you won't get knocked out. And because every NPC in Dark Souls is not essential to the plot, we just kill this guy, skip through his dialogue, and just get what we need, and move on. He would have died anyway, so nothing lost there. Literally nothing lost. Here's another example of a parry. A little different because we're not wielding a sword but a mace, so the animation is a bit different. But it works the same way. Now, because we are a cleric, we receive a canvas talisman, which will allow us to cast spells. You equip it as a weapon. As you can see, our heal spell is grayed out, but if we switch to our talisman, we are able to use it. We have 5 casts of heal until we rest to a bonfire, which will heal us for a bit. How much it heals us depends on our fate stat, which is one of the many stats that our character has. Not gonna go into detail on stats quite yet. Come over here. Give me that back attack, man. Oh well. It's fine. We'll get this guy real quick. Well, by the way, you can riposte with 2 hands, but it's very weird the way you do so. Maybe it's better left for another time. I'm not even sure that's intended play. Now, let's see if I can do a little trick here. I'm gonna do a jumping attack here, if I can. Nice. Boom, look at that damage. Yep. You do kind of hit a weird hitbox that is lingering up there with jumping attack, and this guy died. He only got 1 attack off. Thank you so much, Asylum Demon. We can now leave. I'm not really sure that it is intended play too, because you're kind of hitting an invisible hitbox. But yeah, it doesn't really change that much. So I'm gonna do it anyway. And like that, we are out of the asylum. We'll grab the soul of lost undead because we don't waste anything. And like that, we are done with the tutorial. Like, it took us what, 10 minutes, maybe less than that. And we are, hopefully, if the game bothers to load, we're in Lordran, where the other character is. So we caught up with the warrior, and next time we will explore around Firelink, and we'll see what there's to do and maybe progress a bit through the game. But before we can say goodbye, I actually have a few clips to show you about the beginning area. Let us take a look on how you can defeat the Asylum Demon on your first visit, I guess, or when you first find him. You just pick any class you want. I picked the thief here, but it doesn't really matter what class you pick. And as a gift, you need to pick black fire bombs, because as you can see, I have 10 black fire bombs in my possession. And that's really all you need. You can actually just fight it, you know, and do 2 damage per hit and win like that after a long time, but with the black fire bombs, it's pretty easy. So I'm actually doing pause commentary on this one. This is a clip I recorded a while back, just for the Let's Play. Anyway, we're going in with our 10 black fire bombs, and all you need are really 5, because if you throw 5 black fire bombs to the Asylum Demon, it just dies. You're throwing 1 preemptively like that, and as you can see, it already has lost a lot of HP. We just lock on and throw. We dodge and throw. Only need 5 hits again. We're just waiting for an attack here. Okay, and throw. Because it takes some time to throw a projectile. So you want to be sure to not get hit during that process. We're waiting for an attack, dodge, and throw. I'm waiting for another attack. Okay, and throw the last one. That's it. That's how you kill the Asylum Demon. And for doing that, you get a Demon's Grey Hammer, which is a weapon that you can use if you want. Now, on to another clip. Now, I've also shown you clips of another character that will go for a pure ranged build. This character is a pure ranged build. It is a Sorcerer. And because of that, it will use sorceries, such as Soul Arrow. So I will just stay away and do that. Look how much damage each arrow is doing. It's crazy. Apart from our initial 3 plunging attack, we've already done more than half of the HP of this guy. And while I am staying quite close, you don't have to. You can just stay away and... Look, I'm just so far away from it now, kind of. But you get the idea. This is what a ranged build does. It just stays away and shoots stuff at the enemies. Pretty easy to do. We'll see more of this character later on. And now for our last clip of today, we'll see a way to kind of skip this fight. It involves a glitch, so yeah, this is not intended play, but it's something you can do if you want to do it, and it's pretty easy to do. You need the black firebombs in any class. Just start throwing firebombs, kill it as we saw before with the firebombs. You just need 5 throws. But be ready to use your Dark Sign, which is an item in your inventory that kills you, as soon as it hits 0 HP. There it is. Dark Sign, yes. That will kill me and make me go back at the bonfire. We're doing this because we want the game to think that we did kill the Asylum Demon now, on our first visit, but really, because we didn't kill the boss, really, it didn't go through the whole animation. The boss is actually still there. It just landed now. And we're just running away. And from now on, we're just playing as normal here. This is a... I forgot what this class is called. Is it Wanderer? Something like that. And I don't remember what this class is called. But anyway. We pick up the shield of the class. We pick up the scimitar. Our starting weapon. And we just play through normally. We're just going to backstab this guy. Yep. Easy peasy. Now, we're just gonna go to the knight. The freed us. There he is. Let's see if I backstab through the boulder or just dodge away. I forgot. No, we just dodge away. But we get hit anyway. Anyway, we kill it. Because we have no time to wait for his dialogue. And as you can see, he gives us 2 keys. The one key is the one that opens the door up here, and the other one is the one that opens the exit. That usually it is given by the demon, but because we killed it, quote unquote, then the knight is gonna give it to us. And now all we gotta do here is play through normally, and I think I'm getting in a bit of trouble here because I have a hard time hitting these guys for some unknown reason. And I get through finally, after a few attempts. And as we step through the fog gate, you'll see, and hear actually, that the boss is still there. All we gotta do is just drop down. We don't do anything. We just drop down, roll away, open the doors, and leave. And we're really left without even killing the first boss. There it is. And the music is a bit glitchy here. If you turn your back, it will start. If you turn away, if you turn the camera, it will stop. It's kind of weird, but here you go. We successfully escaped without killing the boss. It's a bit weird. And you can actually go back and kill it. And you will get your souls and everything. You definitely don't want to do this if it's your first time playing. One, because it's a bit kind of hard to do if it's your first time playing. But the other reason is that you're not gonna get the 2,000 souls that it gives you. As you can see, I'm still stuck at 204 souls. That's okay. I ran out of fire bombs because I missed an attack, but that's okay. We just slash him once and he's dead. Like that, we get our Demon's Great Hammer and our 2,000 souls, and we are done, really. I'll see you guys in the next episode.